or visit mymitv.com. All Michigan, streaming everywhere. My Michigan TV.
The Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Detroit is your go-to spot before, during, and after Detroit Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, and Tiger games. The Detroit Sports Bar, downtown on Woodward at Grand Circus Park, a short walk to the stadiums in the heart of the city. At the Detroit Sports Bar, it's always happy hour with specials always running. On game day, come and get a drink. Then head to your event with the Detroit Sports Bar, carry out cocktails and drinks. Online game day, stop in early for our live fan broadcast on My Michigan TV, YouTube, Facebook, and more. The Detroit Sports Bar, downtown Detroit. The Detroit Sports Bar, where you'll have a big time and never pay a big price. More at thedetroitsportsbar.com.
Welcome to the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. I'm Tyler Keith alongside Matt Catoni on My Michigan TV on the free My Michigan TV app. And right here in the thick of things, downtown Detroit at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park. And we are already filled with excitement after that do-si-do in Kansas City. The Lions taking the victory 21-20 in week one. And we've got arguably the most excited Lions fan in the city of Detroit right now. Assad joined us to talk about the ball game, a back-and-forth matchup, Assad, but ultimately the Lions playing to their strong suits, coming out victorious tonight. What are your thoughts?
Hey, I'm sure no one's questioning the Lions' draft picks tonight because Deion Bridge came up huge with that pick six, and like Gibbs, those short passes. And man, I'm just excited. I'm very excited. Let's go, Lions! Come on!
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, just as advertised, just exactly what we were hearing about him, his strong suits. Hey, look, he may not be the perfect fit at that running back position, but he's going to get out into the flat, he's going to catch footballs, and he's going to make key plays when he gets those openings. You had been saying it to us all throughout the second half of this game. That offensive line is the key to all of this, and they played huge.
Hey, that fourth down or third down, they should have, banged it in with an offensive line. But, during the draft, people were looking at that defensive end, pick him. But we took Gibbs and we took Branch, and we're good, and they know what they're doing. And, man, I'm excited for this win. I'm excited for the Lions, and I'm just excited for just the people of Detroit. And we've been waiting a long time for this.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of people really criticizing Brad Holmes' decision-making process when he ended up taking Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell in the first round, really saying that those were reaches. And then tonight we see Jahmyr Gibbs rip off a big run towards the end of the game that really helped them win this game. And Jack Campbell really show out in the passing game where we saw linebackers really struggle last year as well.
Like football, it starts with the offensive line in the trenches. Your offensive line, your defensive line, that's how you build a football team. Jimmy Johnson, you know what I mean? That's the rule. And, and that's what we have. And we have to take advantage of it. And we have to pound the football. But that going for it early on in the first quarter, whenever that was, come on, Dan Campbell. We didn't expect that from you. That was beautiful.
Yeah, negative territory early in the game, setting the tone. But, hey, that's football in Detroit with Motor City Dan Campbell. And, look, for Lions fans, you got to be happy with them being gutsy like that and trusting these players. And, hey, these players, for the first time in a long time, we're putting the faith in their hands, and they're showing up.
They're showing up, and you got to show out, and it's like half the battle is just the belief and like the chemistry of the team, It's like you can have big name guys and all that, but like once you buy into a system and you got Dan Campbell, like they doubted him with the X and O's and all that when he was hired, but people run through a wall for him, and and that's what football's all about,
And we want to hear from you at home also, lions.mymitv.com to join us over Zoom. And, hey, all throughout the season, including tonight, for our My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. Join us at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park in downtown Detroit. Assad is with us right now. And you mentioned the criticism of Dan Campbell and whether or not he's the right X's and O's guy. Who the hell cares? You got Ben Johnson calling your offensive plays.
Ben Johnson,
arguably the biggest move of the offseason.
Him coming back was huge, and he knows that, we're stirring something special. We're stirring something special over here. And, we've been waiting for this. Like, they moved the Lions to KC Thursday night opener. And, like, it's not only Michigan, we all hype for this, I think, like, the whole NFL and, like, all over the United States. And we're here. And this says the thing. We got Seattle coming up, on the 17th or 18th. We got Seattle coming. 17th. And I think that's our first home game. And you're on notice, Come on, we're on notice because we could do it. And I think there was a lot of holding, and it was a pretty clean game, First half, like not a lot of penalties and stuff like that. But that's what we like to see. Let the players play, And the game is won in the trenches, And today in the trenches, that Lions, they're big up there. And let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go is really one way to put it. And again, you mentioned the trenches. The trenches today were just phenomenal, and they showed that really on any given Sunday that the Lions are a team that can step up and compete with the best of the best. And really, Jared Goff showed that as well. Heading into this week, you heard a lot about Patrick Mahomes. What is Mahomes going to do? Big primetime game for Mahomes. And in the end, what happens? Jared Goff steps up and gets the Lions the dub on Thursday night.
Like they got to win today, right? But it's a long season. You're gonna face injuries. You're gonna face adversity. You just got to keep your head down and just like next man up. And that's just how it goes. And chemistry is, when you have the belief and you have like someone that you believe in is something bigger than yourself. That's what football is about. It's not about one man. It's about the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not about one game either. It's about that whole season. But starting off strong, beating the defending champions on the road at Arrowhead, that is a huge way to start the season. So, Assad, for you, looking forward to this team. What are you looking forward to seeing in week 2 and throughout the season?
Well, say that again.
What are you looking forward to after this big win? How much does that add to the excitement for you as a fan?
Well, what I'm looking forward to is just them. I'm looking forward to them not looking behind, and looking forward and just like crushing people. Let's go. Just that swag that coming out there, and I love what Dan Campbell said. He's like all the pressure and all the excitement. But he's like, no, I feel the wind beneath my wings. And let's go. And that's what we're gonna do. And we got a good defensive line. We got a great offensive line. And if Barry had the offensive line that we have today, come on. We used to hate on Wayne Fontes, right? Like Wayne Fontes, get rid of Wayne Fontes. He was the best coach we had. Listen, Jimmy Johnson's playing. We got to have the guys up front, and now we have those guys up front, right? And I like Goff, and like when he came, we got the pieces. And I'm looking forward to a great season.
Yeah, it's going to be a great year, Assad. We thank you so much for being with us. Hey, we'll see you back all throughout the year. Thanks for being with us. And you can join us too at home, lions.mymytv.com. Join us in person here at the Detroit Sports Bar in Grand Circus Park all throughout the season. We'll take a break. Plenty of more to talk about in this postgame. The My Michigan TV Lions postgame show continues after this.
Hey, welcome to Michigan Fun, the show where we check out the state's top festivals and events.
Join host Mike Sukent as he talks with guests from all across Michigan.
How are you doing, Mike? How's everybody in Fair Festival land out there?
Get the inside scoop on what's happening at festivals and events across the state.
A lot of concerts and free family fun, you name it, and we have it.
Your secret's safe with us. I thought mermaids were fictitious beings.
We got everything at Pirate Festival.
I mean, this is countdown.
Countdown, only a couple of weeks away.
You guys busy there in Grand Haven?
Yeah, just a little bit.
We're hoping the weather is holding. We've called Mother Nature. I don't know if I can do much, but Mother Nature and I, we have an understanding.
I mean, people are coming to these events and these fairs and these festivals. They just want to have a good time.
It is one of those events that is so much fun.
That will be a lot of fun.
Welcome back to the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. I'm Tyler Keefe alongside Matt Catoni. We are live at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill. You can join us all throughout the season for our pregame and our post-game coverage of Lions football on the free My Michigan TV app and online on mymichigantv.com. Joining us now at the Detroit Sports Bar, which is still the most fun place during the game, before the game, and after the game. John joining us now on our post-game show. And we're going to go through a little bit of this game. But first, your initial thoughts on the first game of the season for the Detroit Lions, a win on the road.
Just incredible. You know, I mean, I've been around Lions football my whole life. And through the ups and downs and just to see the way, you know, I mean, there was times when it really didn't look good today. It was just that typical – you were starting to get that feeling, that typical Lions game where, yeah, you know, it started off great and everything was going good, but then you saw Mahomes bounce back. But just my feeling is the way they bounce back at the end just shows you that this isn't your typical Lions team.
Yeah, and they made big plays, and they took gutsy plays, too. We'll take a look through some of these highlights on the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. And the first one that stood out for me early in the game, the Lions are facing a fourth down. It looks like they're going to punt the ball. And Calvin over to master control. Let's roll that play, and we'll talk it over as we see it on our screen here at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Detroit. The fourth down conversion early on in the game that changed the game going forward for the Detroit Lions. Let's take a look at that, Calvin. If we can, star number one. We'll take a look at that first play. Yeah, this is a huge play for the Lions. It's fourth down. Looks like it's going to be a punt, and it's a direct snap. Right up the gut, Jalen Reeves-Maven makes that play for the first down.
You know, I mean, actually right here, I wasn't even paying attention because I thought there was no way they were going to do it at that point in the field. And for him to do that, you know, I mean, obviously Dan Campbell does that a lot, but, you know, at that point in the game – at Arrowhead Stadium, and at that point in the field was just incredible. And you know, a lot of times you see it where you make a play like that, and then boom, you just go 3 and out the next series. But to go down and score right after that, you know, you gotta believe that put the Chiefs on their heels a little bit.
And it did, because that ultimately led to a sustained drive and moved them down the field. We'll take a look at our star play number 2 that ultimately came from that drive early in the game and got the Lions on the board. We'll take a look at that clip, Calvin, over at Master Control. As Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff connecting in Chiefs territory. Look at this. Just drives right into the end zone, finds Amon-Ra St. Brown in space, and hey, that's exactly what we were doing here at the Detroit Sports Bar, dancing early in the night. We knew that was going to be a consequential play for the Lions. And, John, an exciting first score of the year for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Big year 3 for Amon-Ra St. Brown, really one of the more prolific receivers since coming into the league, him and Jalen Waddle. But this is also Jared Goff's 3rd year in the league, or with the Lions. And really, this is a huge year for him as he tries to prove himself as really only the 2nd franchise quarterback that the Lions have had, aside from Matthew Stafford. You mentioned being a Lions fan for your entire life. What's something that really sets apart Jared Goff from a lot of the quarterbacks that you've seen play for the Lions?
Well, it's just his nothing phases him. You know, I mean, and obviously you have that, you know, coming from Los Angeles, where Sean McVay basically gave up on him. Let's be honest, and mistakenly, and a lot of other Lions quarterbacks have made the mistake. Well, the Lions organization is down. It's a no-win situation, but Jared Goff just always stays positive, doesn't let the mistakes get him down, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, and we're joined by John here at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Detroit. We got so many fans willing to join us. We thank John for being with us as we're taking a look at some of the big plays from tonight's game. The Lions, a 21-20 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. And hey, Matt, you can't ask for a better outcome tonight and a better competitive game against the defending champs in their territory, night one of the season.
Yeah, we were really expecting this to be a competitive game. We were really more so expecting it to be an offensive battle with Chris Jones being out and all. We still get the battle, but it ended up being more of a defensive battle, really showing how those defensive additions for the Lions paid off, but really just a great game nonetheless.
It doesn't matter who's the defending champions, who they're going up against, what week it is. When the Honolulu Blue pick up a W, everybody's happy, including Quentin, our next fan, joining us at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill on the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. It's all about the fans. Quentin, your reaction to tonight's 21-20 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs starting off the year?
Oh, it's huge, man. It's huge for the city. Of course, it's huge for the team, but just to go in Arrowhead and show who we really are and continue that momentum from last season, finishing the season 8-2 and sending Aaron Rodgers packing to New York, it's just letting the whole entire NFL know that Detroit is here and this is not the same old Lions.
And there are those signature victories that catapult you to the next level. Look, the end of that season, you mentioned the win over Aaron Rodgers, his final game as a Packer at Lambeau Field, setting the tone for the offseason, where the Lions are going forward with this team. And this is a statement win. Whether there's not Travis Kelce or Chris Jones, it's still Patrick Mahomes.
It's the ring ceremony, the banner drop in Arrowhead, 70,000 fans. This is a completely different team, man. It's a completely different organization. And the defense alone showed that we're nothing at the 29th in points per game and last in scoring defense. It's not the same old Lions, man. We went and faced toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead after the banner drop, first game of the season, without Patrick Mahomes ever losing a season opener. So, like I said, it's huge for the city, man. And of course, us Lions fans, it's a long time waiting, man.
Yeah, and we saw a sign late in the game. NBC put up a graphic of a fan in the stands with a sign that said Jared Goff is undefeated against Patrick Mahomes. And hey, guess what? Your Detroit Lions are undefeated after week one, beating the defending champs. And Quentin, taking a look at this game, your hopes for the season, did the Lions meet your expectations tonight?
Oh, they exceeded very well, especially the defense. Brian Branch, the steal of the draft, and possibly the defensive rookie of the year. He showed up big and showed what he continued to do in training camp. And that was the turning point for our defense, especially tying the game 14-14 after that. And it completely shifted the momentum.
Yeah, that really is, you really could argue, is the play of the game. Brian Branch coming down with the tip pick six. He really was someone in the draft that Detroit fans especially were ecstatic to get. Didn't really see him falling that far down in the draft.
Absolutely not.
Just showing it right away why Brad Holmes was so high on him and really showing that he has the impact or the capability to have the impact to be a defensive rookie of the year player already.
Yeah, Quentin, we appreciate you joining us. We'll let you get back to celebrating a big week one victory. Round of applause on the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. We'll take a very quick break. More fans to talk to, more celebration. The Lions are 1-0, and we'll be back after this short break.
My Michigan TV is streaming everywhere on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and more smart TV apps. My Michigan TV is on your phone too. Take us with you wherever you go. Just search for My Michigan TV on your favorite app store or visit mymitv.com. All Michigan, streaming everywhere. My Michigan TV.
Welcome back to the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show. We'll be here at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park in Detroit, Michigan, each and every week before and after the game. Hey, getting your thoughts before the Lions play on a Thursday, on a Sunday, whenever their game is, and certainly getting your thoughts after the game as well. Got another fan with us in downtown Detroit at the best place to view Lions football every single week, the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill. Al joins us on the Lions post-game fan show. Al, your thoughts on a big victory, a hard-fought win for the Lions, showing what they're made of on the road in week one.
Hey, first off, I want to say thanks for having me. I appreciate you coming up here. So here's my big thing. There was a moment right there where I was watching the Lions, and I wasn't sure if Dan was going to call for a 4th down and 2 play or whether they were going to punt it. Now, I wanted to see them go for it, obviously. It would have made for exciting TV. But at the same time, I thought, I'm kind of glad that he held his horses, that he played the long game, that he was playing to win. Sure. It was actually really good to see that type of play calling. And I feel like he's evolved as a head coach. He knows his team a little bit better. And so he knows how they're going to perform in these types of situations. So whereas before, when his first year, it was, yeah, let's do it. Let's go, 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 go. Now it's, okay, I know what my guys are going to do. And I think this signals a lot going forward that he understands how this team's going to perform. He understands what they're going to need to do over the course of a season. So it's really good to see that, fellas.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. That growth is something really that you want to keep an eye on because it's something I really remember over Dan Campbell's really first year and a half as head coach. Him really being gung-ho and really ready to go for it at the slightest instance. Really, if it's any indication that it would be close to get it, he was going to go for it. And that really saw him catch a lot of flack and grief from fans at a time saying you needed to be more calm and really just be smarter about when he would go for it. But now you're seeing him now, year 3, in a better understanding with his quarterback and offensive line, and we're seeing him make better decisions going forward on these 4th downs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we saw that evident. They were willing to take risks. They were willing to play their style of football. But beyond that, having the confidence in your guys to make those plays at the right time. And we talk about the offensive plays. We talk about those gutsy moves like going for 4th down, early in the game and picking up the 1st down on a fake punt. But really, it was the defense, too, that stepped up against a really tough guy to guard in Patrick Mahomes. And an offense that, credit to Kansas City, had a great week 1, down a couple of key players, including Travis Kelce.
Oh, even missing that bona fide star, if you look on any of the things of fantasy football, that's a 1st-round draft pick right there. One of the best tight ends in the league, if not the best tight end. So it was kind of nice to see that we didn't have to play them. But you got to remember that there's still 10 other guys on the side of the ball that are trying to do everything they can to win every single inch they can to get it towards the end zone. So just because you lose one player doesn't mean that you can discount the other 10 guys. So I really liked the effort that they put out there, and it was good to see them make some key stops. There were some really good 3rd downs, even a couple of 2nd downs that I saw where they just like, oh, okay, you made that play? All right, now it's 3rd and 2. There you go, hold them. So as much as I was expecting some type of the NFL and the referees to do something like they do to the Lions, I was pleased to see that they just let the boys play the game. And when they played, there was an outcome. It was very close. It was a very exciting game. And I think everyone had a pretty good time, as long as you're not a Kansas City fan.
And now we talk so much about the changing of the culture for the Lions, the changing of the identity for the Lions. In your opinion, what does a performance like this say about the identity of this Detroit Lions team and the future they have across for them the rest of the season?
That's a good question. So going forward, I think that if you come out and win, that's a good thing. Nobody ever said winning a game is a bad thing. And you win one, then you can win another. And then you win one more, and that's a streak. You win 4 in a row, you're doing good. So you have to start somewhere. So where they're putting their stamp on this season, it's showing that, okay, We're going to go out. This is a real game, and we're really going to compete against the Super Bowl champions, and we can hang with them. And you know what? We can even beat them. So it's all right. There you go, Lions. I see that you're coming out. You're putting a good start on your season. It gives me a little bit of belief that I think that they can do something. So let's see what they can do next week.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. I really like just kind of really what they kind of seems like they've been doing since really the second half of last year is really taking it week by week. How you mentioned earlier in your statement that Kelsey gets hurt, there's still 10 other starters that you got to worry about, and especially considering that the Chiefs have one of the best offensive play callers ever in Andy Reid. It's something really that maybe past Lions teams may have fallen for the trap. Travis Kelsey is out. We don't necessarily have to give out our best defensive performance. This week, you see the defense stay locked in. You see the young guys locked in, especially, which is really a testament to the coaching staff. And they hold down and get a tough-fought win.
Yeah, it was an impressive game for the Lions and an impressive showing, too, for the fans in downtown Detroit. Celebrating this momentous occasion for the Lions, getting the kick off the season on national television against the defending champions and the stadium in the National Football League. And best of all, picking up the win 21-20. Al, appreciate you joining us. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me. The Lions.
The Lions, indeed. And we have the post-game discussion from the coaching staff. The players will hear from them. The press conference post-game is beginning live from Kansas City. We'll go to that video now on the My Michigan TV Lions post-game fan show.
Yeah, I mean, it's we have that we work a lot on situational football. But yeah, everybody knows the strength of our offense, and it's that line. But defensively, before that, man, I just thought they showed up. Showed up in a big way. Absolutely. All right, y'all.
Campbell speaking about the Lions' big 21-20 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. We'll take a break and come back with more of your opinions and a look at the Detroit Lions season going forward. Stay tuned. This is the My Michigan TV Lions pregame and postgame fan
The Detroit Sports Bar Grill in downtown Detroit is your before, during, and after Detroit Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, and Tiger games. The Detroit Sports Bar downtown on Woodward at Grand Circus Park. A short walk to the stadiums in the heart of the city. The Detroit Sports Bar is always happy hour. With special, always running. On game day, come and get a drink. Then head to your event with the Detroit Sports Bar. Carry out cocktails and drinks. Online game day, stop in early for our live fan broadcast on My TV, YouTube, Facebook, and more. The Detroit Sports Bar, downtown Detroit. The Detroit Sports Bar, where you'll have a great time and never pay a big price. Or at DetroitSportsBar.com.
Welcome back to the My Michigan TV Detroit Lions pregame and postgame show. I'm Tyler Keith alongside Matt Catoni, live from the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Detroit. You can find us at Grand Circus Park. It's on Woodward between Broadway and Washington, right in the thick of downtown Detroit. We're right down the street from Comerica Park, down the street from Ford Field, where the Lions will take on the Seattle Seahawks a week from Sunday, 10 days between week 1 and week 2, Matt. And the rest start to see some things to improve on, as Dan Campbell said in the presser. But overall, a really nice performance for the Lions, kicking off the season with a lot of hype. And hey, week 1 showing that hype may very well be legit.
Yeah, really, with football, you never know what you're going to get that first game of the year. You know, you can game plan all you want, really practice all you want throughout the summer, but you never know what the final product is going to be until you get out there week 1 against a different team in a non-scrimmage setting. Really, the Lions look phenomenal. The defense looked much improved, much similar to what it was in the last half of last year as opposed to what it looked like in the first half of last year. It really looked like the Lions were playing complementary level of football that Campbell was often spoke about wanting them to play.
Hey, about the storylines coming into this game, what's going on with Isaiah Buzz? How's that going to affect the defensive line? Are they going to get the kind of production that they would out of some of the backups? Are they going to move a guy that's a little bit smaller, like a Pascal, into a defensive tackle position? And those questions were answered quite emphatically. The defensive line put so much pressure on Patrick Mahomes tonight, made it difficult for him to make plays. He still made them because he's Patrick Mahomes. Does, but ultimately it was the defense stepping up, it was the offensive players making big plays, an excellent game overall from Jared Goff, and a really well-coached week 1 matchup between the Lions and the Jets.
Yeah, really impressive all the way around. You got Jared Goff beating Patrick Mahomes, improving to 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes in his career. Granted, it's not as big of a shootout as it was the first time he was able to beat Mahomes, but also you got Dan Campbell being able to come out on top of really a close, low-scoring game against a coach with such an incredible resume like Andy Reid is really just a great way to start off the year for the Lions coming back next week against Seattle.
Lions starting off their season now 1-0, a team that won 9 games and lost 8 a season ago, and being a team that was 14-3 in the regular season in 2022 on their way to a Super Bowl championship. The final score for the Lions game at Arrowhead tonight: 21 points for the Lions, 20 points for the Kansas City Chiefs. Say it ain't so. Your Detroit Lions are 1-0, and we're celebrating at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park in downtown Detroit. You can celebrate with us all season long, pregame and postgame fan show. It's all about your thoughts on your Detroit Lions every single week before and after the Lions play on the gridiron. Join us on My Michigan TV. Watch us online, mymichigantv.com. You can find us on the free My Michigan TV app from the comfort of your home on your smart TVs or anywhere in the world with one of these puppies on the free My Michigan TV app. And we'd also love to have you join us. You can always join us in person at the best place to watch a Detroit Lions football game in the city of Detroit at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park. Or join us from home, join us from around the state of Michigan, around the world. Lions Nation can always join us on the Lions pregame and postgame fan show on My Michigan TV at lions.mymytv.com. Matt Catoni and I will be here to talk about the Lions games all season long with you. We want to get your opinions. It's a show that's all centered around getting the Lions fans' thoughts on their team every single week. Matt, your final thoughts from week one as we put a bow on a successful week.
Yeah, again, like I said earlier, I was really expecting it to be a higher scoring matchup. Lions defense really bringing in some new guys, having new starters in. I was expecting some pickups there. I was very surprised pleasantly with how the Lions defense performed. Holding Mahomes, even without Travis Kelce, to 20 points is impressive, given that him and Andy Reid have really been one of the more successful quarterback head coach duos since Belichick and Brady. But I was really happy with how the Lions performed this week. They really showed that the defense is going to be a lot improved, very much improved this year. That the offense is going to be steady. And I'm really looking forward to going over there next week against the playoff team again in Seattle.
Yeah, looking forward also to talking to some of you next week right here at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill. The Lions taking on the Seattle Seahawks right down the street at Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Hey, you can't go to the game. The best place to see it is right here at the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park in downtown Detroit. Join us for the My Michigan TV Lions pregame and postgame shows all throughout the season. Online as well, lions.mymytv.com to zoom in with us every single week as the Lions compete for maybe an NFC championship, maybe an NFC North championship, maybe it's the Super Bowl as they beat the Super Bowl champs in week 1, 21-20. Appreciate you joining us, to our dedicated crew, Jacob Rinaldi out here, one of our grips helping set up, Dave Scott, our engineer on site, Calvin Brown back at Master Control, as well as Jared Clark, making everything happen from back at our studio right here in the Metro Detroit area. And, of course, Matt Catoni and all of our fans who are joining us on today's edition of the broadcast. You can join us every single week for Lions football, pre-game and the post-game shows live from the Detroit Sports Bar and Grill in Grand Circus Park in downtown Detroit, Woodward Avenue between Broadway and Washington. You can find us right here at the bar. Join us for a pregame show. Enjoy the game with us and with so many different Lions fans from across the Detroit area and the city as well. And, of course, talk about the Lions game after it happens, win or lose. We'll be all smiles here on My Michigan TV all throughout the season. The Lions victorious in week 1. The final score, 21 for the Lions, 20 for the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. We will put a bow on tonight's broadcast and welcome you back to join us next week as the Lions take on the Seattle Seahawks. All throughout the season, this is your place to be to talk about your Detroit Lions, the My Michigan TV Lions pregame and postgame show. We wish you good night and a happy 10 days ahead as the Lions are 1-0.